And today I want to talk about 13 Reasons Why, the TV series slash book. I actually did read the book when I was I don't know, getting ready to graduate high school, I guess. I don't know. It's been so long. Yeah. Anyway, so I want to talk about it because it's been like a huge topic of conversation. I know a lot of the popular talk has died down to make way for other things. Since I work in the psychology field and the mental health field, I want to talk about it because it's still a big topic of conversation, actually, in that field. And I know we talk about it not all the time at work, but I mean, it does come up in conversation. I think they did a fantastic job with the series. I know it was originally supposed to be a movie, and it was originally supposed to have Selena Gomez in it. And which, as much as I was wanting to see that, I'm really glad they went the way they did, because I feel like the TV show made it so much better because of the fact that there was all the, since each tape had its own episode, or each episode was its own tape, however you want to say it, it just put, all the detail into it. And if, the movie most likely would not have had all that detail in it, or would have gone on for several, maybe some more than one movie. But I feel like the TV show was the best way for the book. The TV show was the best way to bring the book to life. So as much as I wanted Selena to be Hannah, I really love Catherine. She did such a great job, and she really brought Hannah to life. All the actors did fantastic. I think it was casted really well. I think it was filmed very well. I mean, obviously written very well. But yeah, I think they did a great job with it. The main part I want to talk about this is because there's been a lot of controversy over it as well. So I'm just going to try to talk about that. So a lot of the controversy is that it is a trigger, and they shouldn't have shown all that they shown. But the thing is, all that stuff that they shown, that's real. I mean, not obviously it wasn't real in the show, but that stuff happens to people that age, and they don't know how to talk about it. And especially if everyone's like, don't talk about it, shh, be quiet, don't talk about it. And it's really difficult for them because they don't know what they're supposed to do. Obviously, Hannah didn't know what she was supposed to do, which is why she never said anything. None of them, they didn't know what to do because they were just teenagers. And the fact that they didn't know what to, because there's not conversation about it. The whole point of the TV show was to bring conversation out and to say, hey, if this happens, here's what you do. Hey, if this happens, you can come talk to me. And don't be afraid to come talk to me. The whole point was just to make it a conversation happen, and a conversation that needs to happen, because this stuff is a lot of people don't realize this stuff actually happens in real life every day. Well, maybe not every day, but still, and it's pretty sad when you think about it, and especially sad when you realize that this stuff is going on behind people's backs, because these people that witness it, they don't know how to talk about it. And it's really hard for them, especially with all the stigma around everything. It's really hard for them. So especially there's stigma on mental health, there's stigma on, there's everything. There's blaming, victim blaming, everything. And it's so sad, especially because these people want to get help, but they don't know how to. And if they're trying to, they're either getting shot down or told to hush, and it's sad. Back to the part about being a trigger. Is it a trigger? Yes, it's a trigger. Yeah, I know I work in mental health, and I agree that yes, it is a trigger. Some things like that, it is a trigger, especially because it's so heavy. But the thing is, you need to make sure that there's a conversation going on, so that way it doesn't have to be a trigger. There's a lot of people that are like, don't let your kids watch it because it's well, you know what? I think you should watch it then. If you don't want your kids to watch it, you should watch it. If you're unsure, watch it first. And you know what? If you want my opinion, I think you should watch it with your kids, and then have that conversation. If you're feeling this way, you can come talk to me. Don't don't feel like you have to keep it under wraps. Like, this is a conversation. It's supposed to open up conversation so people can feel more comfortable if they're feeling like this to go talk to somebody. I don't know how many, because in my job, which I'm not, like I said, I know I said before I'm not saying what my job is, and I'm still not going to say what my job is. But in my job, I see both the kids and I see both parents. And there's so many parents I've talked to that are surprised, that are unsure of what to do, that they just, and some are kind of in denial, like, no, this is attention, this is not, like, this is for attention, this is not real, they're not going to do it, blah, blah, blah. But it's like they don't really know because they haven't had to deal with it, and especially because their generation is so closed-lip on all that kind of thing. And like our generation, we're trying to get it to where it's a more open topic and more open conversation, and that's just not how they were raised, so it's hard for them to get used to. Plus, like, hard for them because they, like I said, some of them are like, I don't know where to do, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, I don't know where to go, like, I don't know. And so hopefully, like, show is supposed to help and like open up a topic, and then also open up, like, what do we do if this happens and things like that. So yeah, I mean, yes, it is a trigger warning, but you need to make sure you have that conversation, whether if you're a parent, if you're a counselor, if you're a teacher, make sure to have that conversation with your kiddos, because, like, you'd rather have your kid angry at you for a few days than dead. And I'm sorry to be so blunt about it, but really, you would. You should rather have your kid angry at you for bringing that up than for doing something to themselves, something permanent. People don't understand because they're not in that field. And I see this every day. So, yeah, like I said, it's supposed to be a conversation. Make it a conversation. Talk about it with someone. Talk about it more. Keep talking about it. Don't stop talking about it. Because the more talk about it, the less stigma there's going to be, and the more reason for people to get help, and the more availability there is going to be for people to get help. So, alright, the last thing that I'm going to say is that yes, I do recommend that anybody watches it. And if you feel like it's going to be a trigger for you, make sure you watch it with somebody. Make sure you talk to somebody about it, even if it's like your friend or something. Just say, hey, I'm gonna watch 13 Reasons Why, which, I mean, most people have probably already seen it by now, but anyway, still, just make sure, if you want to watch it with your parents, watch it with somebody you trust. Like, I really feel like it is a great show, and it's great to watch. And yes, there is heavy stuff that they talk about, but you know what? That heavy stuff is real. It may not be real in the show, but it's real in real life. Like, that stuff happens. Like, I can't tell you how many stories I've heard, how many plans I've heard of people wanting to die, and it's really sad, but it's like, that stuff, that is real, and if we don't bring that topic of conversation out, then it's not going to be out, and people are still going to feel ashamed. They're going to feel like they can't talk to anybody. They're going to feel like they can't get help, and they're going to try to do something about it. And if you want to avoid them trying to do something about it, then really need to have that open conversation and open communication about it. And no stigma, no prejudices, no judgments, just open conversation is what needs to happen. I hope you enjoy this video. I know it's kind of a little getting on the heavy side, talking about heavy stuff. But anyway, it still needs to happen because we need to reduce the stigma of mental illness, and we also need to reduce the stigma and victim blaming of other things, such as suicide, such as rape, such as all this other stuff. So, yeah, hope you enjoyed. If you would like, give me a thumbs up on this video, and then be sure to subscribe to my channel to be notified when more videos are posted. All my social media links are going to be down there in the description, so you can go check those out. In the mental health field, I went to just gonna kick my chair here. Wait to move my butt. was I going to say?